Summer of Gold is a new podcast documentary series from executive producers Alex Morgan and Sue Bird that tells the story of how women dominated the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta and changed the course of sports history. The host is Southern California native, Olympian, and five-time world champion ice skater Michelle Kwan. Our Chris Hayre visited with Kwan to learn more.
It was the summer of 1996. A monumental year that would change women and sports forever.
An exciting new project, Summer of Gold. Why don't you tell me how this project came to be and what it was like working with Alex and Sue on this?
Well, I'm so excited to partner with Togethxr and Dear Media for the new documentary podcast, Summer of Gold. The podcast talks about the 1996 Olympics 25 years ago. It's hard to believe. And how it was one of the most important summers for women's sports history. It was when the WNBA founded, a time where women's soccer was just finally breaking through. And it was when real female athletes became cultural icons. When I got the call, I was like, they know that I'm not a summer Olympian, right? but yes, let me do it.
Michelle, I think what's so unique about that though, is just a couple of years later, that's when your career really started to take off in the Olympics. What do you remember specifically about those 96 games that really propelled your career?
You're absolutely right. The 1996 Olympics made such, I can't even begin to express the impression it had on me at 15, 16 years old, just inspired by the incredible athletes, the female athletes that really dominated. The Magnificent Seven. I mean, watching Dominique Dawes, Moceanu, it was watching Carrie Strug, the most watched part, of the Olympics in Atlanta. And can she take home the gold? Can she do the vault?
For the younger generation of girls and women, and really just athletes in general, why is this podcast a must listen?
It's a time when so much had changed. There were pioneers like Julie Foudy in U.S. women's soccer, like Brianna Scurry, so many voices in the podcast, like Billie Jean King talking about their fight for the opportunity for not equal pay, but the opportunity to play, period. We have to celebrate those 25 years and how far we've come.
Some of the themes in this podcast: fair pay, equal opportunity, inclusion. The strides that we've made are evident, but how much more do we have to go?
Where it's fair, where it's equal.
Yeah.
As they say, women hold up half the sky, right? But you see it in different parts, not just in sports, but in the workforce, in politics. But to see, a vice president that's a female, that's a woman of color, that's Asian, that's African American, and the first of many. But there's still that fight, continuing. So I guess the fight continues till it really is, women hold up half the sky.